Hello, beautiful people. I hope you guys are doing well. I brought my water. I always forget it. This time I remembered it. We're live on a Monday. I've been really enjoying the lives with you guys. And this grand rising, I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like doing another live with you. So let's do another live with you guys. Um, there's so much I want to share that's coming through that feels good. And today, as you can tell, we're going to be talking about a channel message that was really profound today as I was just at home in time, just connecting with the sun energy and my whole space. I don't know if you guys can feel the energy of my space, but there's rainbows coming through my window that are charging the back of each corner of my room. It's really beautiful. So it's perfect timing to connect with this angelic energy and to share with you guys this medicine. I never caught you live. Oh my gosh, hello, welcome. It's so nice to have you guys. If you are new here, let me know. And please say in the chat where you're from, a rainbow emoji. If it's a replay, let me know #replay and just introduce yourself because I actually love reading your comments and love being able to just connect with you guys. And we're going to be live on TikTok and also on YouTube. So just making sure TikTok's good to go. I always forget to press go for TikTok and we're doing it. So now we're doing it. Okay. Hi. Hello. Happy moon day. Ooh, yes. The moon's still energetically so active. And yeah, I'm just so excited to connect with you guys. So let's get into this one as you guys introduce yourself in the chat and I'm connecting with you all. Number one, I want to first just share that I'm so grateful for you being here. Two, I want to share that today's our last day for the partial sponsorship for the Goddess Retreat. So if you guys have been wanting to go to the Goddess Retreat, this is your last opportunity. If you're feeling there's a lot of humanness that is blocking you, this is an opportunity for you. I am doing 2 partial sponsorships for the retreat, March 20th to the 27th. So for 2 goddesses to come to the Portugal with us, to allow themselves to step into the woman that they want to be, rebirthing, connecting with womb healing, and so much more. Plant medicine ceremonies, breath works, some deep stuff, some great stuff. So if that is something that interests you, please apply. You can in my link tree. It's all in my link down below. For TikTok, you guys will find it in my bio. And the doors close Eastern time tonight, midnight. So I'm guessing whoever's meant to see this will see this in divine timing. And just know that it's meant for you. I also have the Divine Dharma Retreat, which is still open. Spots are filling up quite quickly. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out, and one-on-ones as well. I actually just got to connect with one of you beautiful souls who applied for the one-on-one rebirth program. It was such a great conversation and some deep healing. Like it's not just a call that we have after the application, like it's a healing process. Yeah, I love being able to connect with you. So woo. The Virgo, oh my gosh, yes, it was very powerful. When I recorded the meditation, I felt like I was in a trance sharing with you guys this journey. So I'd love to hear if you were able to do the Virgo meditation and you're seeing this now, it's not too late to do it. It works 3 days after and 3 days before. And even for those who are very sensitive, like I find that you can even go 4 days before, 4 days after. So you can go do the Virgo meditation and see if what you receive. Okay, so my channel message today that I want to chat with you guys. Let's get cozy, let's get comfortable. Let's chat a chat. And what I want to share with you guys was the aspect of happiness. And this came up during my elliptical. So I went to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym at all, barely. I don't know about you guys, but I'm in the point where my body is just like fueling energy and it's like dispersing energy so quickly with Kundalini stuff, which I'll do in a different channel, different video with you guys. I'll talk about Kundalini stuff, but all this to say is there's a lot that is being charged and I need a lot of fuel in my energy. So I haven't been going to the gym as much because I just tap into Kundalini and it's been moving energy and moving physical energy out. But when I was listening to this beautiful podcast, and I really like this podcast, it's called Know Thyself. If you guys haven't heard of this podcast, I highly suggest you listening to it and watching it. They have a video part on Spotify, and it's their latest episode, which, where's my phone? On here. Okay, I can't show it to you guys. It's their latest episode, and it was talking about the aspect of happiness. And I really enjoyed the way they talked about how, as humans, we're never fully satisfied, even when we are happy in that moment. And I just want to take you into this journey of understanding that when was a time, maybe a recent moment, when you felt happy? It could have been maybe seeing someone that made you smile. It could have been hearing good news. It could have been just your presence. It could have just been just waking up one day and being like, oh my gosh, I feel so happy, right? And from that moment, what shifted that allowed you to attach to the next emotion that came to you? And this brings me to the channel message of humans expecting that happiness is a state, even though we say and we understand it is not. And this brings us to the understanding of embodiment, that we want this happiness constantly, that we want this easeful life. And I was having this conversation this weekend, of course, during the Virgo energy, and I was just like, this is such a good chat. And I'm like, I feel like I need to do it live so you guys can feel the energy and connect. And what we talked about is believing that there is a higher energy, higher power, creator, and guides. And I think everyone here can resonate that, there has been points in your journey where you feel very alone, where you feel like, are my guides with me? Are my ancestors with me? Are these benevolent beings with me? Is God with me, creator, whatever you connect with? And during this conversation, this was like a 3.5 hour conversation. So we were in depth. These good conversations with people where you're going deep and you're talking about all the things, like you're talking about, you know, um, what is the idea of different beings, and are we the different beings in extraterrestrial? And like, we were going so deep. It was a portal. We opened a portal late at night, and this conversation was beyond. But all this to say is, in this conversation, the realization I had is how many times that we assume that our guides are not wanting our happiness and best interest because we're going through suffering, pain, or grief. And that we then block the ability for us to enjoy happiness or to see an opening of happiness through that same emotion that we're also experiencing, that we can be the extension of the universe of all things and all emotions. And that attachment, that because I am suffering in a moment, because I'm experiencing something that is hard, that now my guides have wronged me. And I think the biggest thing we kind of deeply discussed is like, if this is a benevolent being, then why is there so much suffering and pain and grief in this world? And what we have to understand is the number one thing: a lot of what is created in this world is human created, right? Is created by humans itself. So there needs to be an understanding, number one, of responsibility, that our race, that our being has created a lot of this suffering and pain that's out there, right? And that no matter how much this benevolent energy wants the best for you, that you as a human has this abundance and this opportunity, this freedom of choice, and to claim that that is of choice, right? Now, some people will say, well, what if there's some things where the energy is not us, it's like something else that's coming in? Yes, that's the second thing. It's understanding that as there are benevolent, beautiful beings that want the best for us and want us to support, and let me tell you, they work overtime, okay? They work overtime. However, there are also other energies that do not want the best. And this is something that I needed to really discuss and share with people. I'm so happy you caught me live too. Just share with people is understanding not to bypass that this world and many other dimensions have light and what people would say lower frequencies or dark shadow, right? They're both there. right? For light to be there, there's a shadow that's casted there too. And when we judge those two spaces, instead of look at it as a space of where can I be a frequency of love for both essences, that is where we are in this alignment. And I'm not saying that we have to like the shadow. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the things that are of shadow, such as, unrightful things towards children, women, trafficking, the systems, all those things that we have, we can go deep into that, which was part of the discussion that I'm sharing with you guys in a very snippet, right? We can be a pillar of ceremony within ourselves. And when we walk into a space of darkness, asking yourself, how could I be the essence and tap into my frequency of light and happiness that is always accessible to me? And the reason why I'm saying you, because a lot of people are in the impression, some people are in the impression of giving it to a higher power. And I might be talking a very controversial what I'm going to say, but what resonates, take, what doesn't, let go. There is higher power in that essence, but there is co-creation. And there is an opening that happens when you understand that I am you, you are me, that you are universe and the universe is you, that everything in this world is a reflection of partial self. And when that happens, there's more compassion, there's more love, there's more truth. There's no bypassing, there's no BSing, right? It's like, okay, that is not right. And that is not a space that is well for people, to our own brothers, sisters, beings on the other side of the world. But what can I do in my energy, in my frequency, to be and to send that energetic love and light there? And the new thing that I've done recently that has really allowed me, and I've noticed that my happiness just by doing this for an hour has shifted, is whenever I go out now, and even more so, I'm being more aware of it. And I'm going to give you guys this tip as a channel message. If I see someone, these three people, if I see someone that is struggling, right? My biggest thing is I'm like, how can I be a walking prayer? Because that could be me someday. That could not be me. But that person is an extension of the greater oneness, right? When I start to live life that way, I then omit judgment completely, right? Because at that point, I'm not looking at that person as less than, more of, or whatever. I'm looking at that person as, and it's also allowing me to purge any judgment that has been brought into my awareness and consciousness through family members, through experiences, through whatever it is. And then that's the real work, which I'll go into later. But that's the real work when you start to purge that by being that layer of love and light for that person, right? It's not all love and light, but you got to look at that same shadow that is within. And by doing that, by entering the light, the shadow can't survive in that. The second is I went to the gym today and this woman was coughing really like when I tapped into the energy of it, because it was just really there. And one of the things people always ask me, and this was a question on the last channel message, was, Shika, how do I practice, like, I feel like I tap into so many people's energy, I can feel everyone's energy, da, 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 da. And whenever I hear this, I honestly hear I have a responsibility to manage my energy and to manage into what I want to tune in and what I don't want to tune into. That is your responsibility. But by you closing yourself off and hiding and saying, hey, okay, well, this is too much energy for me, that's not how we become conscious beings and living this life. That the true paradise, that the true essence of what we're trying to go for and seek for and work towards, the happiness is always here. It's always in this moment. It's always an opportunity here for you. Don't worry, Shana. Yeah, right? So it's always there for you. Now, this woman, going back to my story, I'm let me walk you into it because I want you guys to feel like you're with me. So I'm at the gym, I'm on the elliptical, and that machine is like, it's one of those machines when you go on it and then you're like, ugh, I got this. And then you get 10 minutes and you're like, well, I'm really sweating. I don't know about anyone else. If you know what I'm talking about, put a laughing emoji. But I was working out and I'm just in the zone. I'm listening to that podcast. I'm tuning into myself. The sun is shining. I'm like, oh, this is good. Like first time going to the gym in weeks. And I'm just there trying to just get my body. And for me, I get the most downloads at the gym. This is something I've learned. I don't know if anyone else is the same. So from behind me, I hear this woman coughing, and she's coughing deeply. Like I can feel it down to the bottoms of her lungs. And my soul just leads into her energy. Not in a way like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you, but in a way of, oh, there's a rainbow on my desk while I'm talking. In a way of, oh, there's something there. So all of a sudden, something tells me to just be a prayer. So I become this pillar while I'm working out. So while my spirit, I know it sounds crazy, while my spirit's working out, right? And I'm still present with my spirit on this elliptical, we're doing the human things. But in that energy, in that essence, I am also starting to recite the mantra and the prayer and the deep initiation of words of Ho'oponopono. So I start to say that, and I'm not saying it to me, I'm saying it to her, this woman's lungs. And what I notice is she starts to purge, like she starts coughing, not in a way like, oh my God, but like the cough changes. It's now like it's a releasing, it's giving her permission to release because I sense that she felt so uncomfortable and shamed around her coughing because of so many paradigms of people and people being sick right now in the world. And oh my gosh, what if it's the sea and blah, blah, blah. So when I noticed that, I just gave her love. I was like, it's okay. You're doing your thing. Listen to your body. Like, and I'm reciting this. And all of a sudden, this woman's energy comes to near me and she just takes a moment and looks over. And it's like it's like her soul knew. Not that I needed her to know that. And I didn't want her to be like, oh, thank you. I wasn't looking for that. What I was doing in that intention was let me just be that pillar for you because that's needed. And as that was happening, I started to notice my energy and my essence heightened, and so did hers because I started to see her in me and me in her, right? And there was a big shift that happened in her energy and her workout, and so did in mine. We helped each other out. So this is a great example of when you see someone in suffering and pain, what do you do? Do you take it on? Because I know there's a lot of light workers that follow me. I know there's a lot of space holders and people who work with people. You need to know the difference between being a pillar, being a space holder, and just being just being a being of society, of this earth being. Let's remove healer, light worker, all those words, because these are just words we like to attach ourselves to. Like even like I remember when we were doing the Earth Dharma initiation, all the students were like, all the beings were like, oh, Shika, like teachings, like teacher. And I was like, let's like, for me, it made me feel uncomfortable because for me, I don't see it that way. I say mentor and training on these things and these programs, but at the end of the day, I'm like, there's an equal. So one of the things that came up during that process was that how many times you look at someone in suffering and see how can I tap into my light force energy, which for those who might not be familiar, that is where your sacral is. It is where you were birthed, right? The womb, the hara, the sacral. So tap into the life force energy, being a pillar of light, not holding on, not being the sweeper to hold people's energy and pain and suffering, but rather to look at the suffering and pain as itself with happiness, with stillness, and with love. And in doing that, I am then being an active contributor to the collective. And that is what a being is meant to do. That is your purpose. That is what every single one of us is purpose is. And when we can tap into that purpose, what happens is we then allow life to keep lifing. And what I mean by that, you allow life to come through you, within you, and you see opportunities arise. But the moment you become a victim to the suffering and pain and bring that on, or just a witness to the pain, and you just stand there witnessing, absorbing it, being it, instead of being like, okay, What is in within my being, the innocence of my inner child, the innocence of my being, because humans are innocent in our purest essence. How can I tap into that innocence and that energy and just be that pillar? Of course, only when you have that energy. And when you don't have that energy, don't worry, because one of the biggest things I learned from many indigenous tribes, when one is suffering, we all suffer. I heard it and I was like, oh yeah. But to actually embrace it and to understand it, when one is suffering, we all suffer. Why, when you see something that is emotional or something in another country, that you feel this like heaviness? Because you're feeling their suffering. They are part of family, right? There is no separation. So this brings me to my next layer of happiness, and why a lot of us are not happy in our life is because we separate ourselves to the world based on the stories that this system has told us and the stories of our own ancestral coding. And I'm going to share something that was really beautiful today. And I think it's perfect that I did this live now with you guys in chat. I had a conversation with this amazing, beautiful being. And the conversation that came through that was really beautiful was, we talked about how this person had certain experiences, such as, race and area where they lived, that really created a story in their mind. And I resonate with this deeper, right? I resonate with this so many layers. And if you resonate with that, if you're someone that grew up, maybe, for example, you're like the only person of that race in that neighborhood, or perhaps that you just felt like, or you're someone of a certain religion, or you felt unique. It couldn't even just be race. It could be just like your energy felt unique. You felt like a different person, right? If you know what I'm talking about, put a purple heart emoji. And if you feel called to share your experience, you can feel safe to do so here. Please be respectful to everyone who shares. I always like to say this. I feel like my community knows that, but Spirit told me just share this, okay? When we tap into those experiences, that is an experience of a choice, an opportunity, where we're exposed to separation, to a belief of separation, right? And I can say that that was my life. Most of this life that I've lived is separate yourself, because you are told that you are this and they are that, when that it's not true. It is a system within a system that is telling you that, to give you a lie to become a truth, which cannot happen. So what happens is, you live your life creating and speaking words and spelling words and creating a manifestation based on the separation of how you are different and how they are different. And we find ourselves in situations where we get stripped or absorbed our happiness through our own self. We decide to believe these experiences. And by believing these experiences, we're like, okay, well, that means that's less happiness for me and those types of people that are separate and different than me. That is the whole situation of this world right now. What's happening with our familia in Congo, what's happening with our familia in South America, what's happening in the Amazon, what's happening with our family in Egypt, in Iran, in Palestine. All these places is, let's pick on how we are different and make these humans believe that this difference is why we should separate and why you shouldn't be happy. And let's use all this energy on separation and kind of this, you're better and I'm not better and whatnot. And all of that absorbs our happiness, our inner peace. So we chase after what? Trying to prove why we are just the same as that person, when that is not true. That is only true so it will be attached to my being, or your being, it will be true. So this was the biggest thing that I was reminded about. It wasn't an epiphany, it was a remembering. of that there are so many opportunities for us to separate ourselves from the world, even the simplest. Let's take that out, spiritual. If you recently went through a spiritual awakening, my ears are ringing. So that's like angels, spiritual awakening. You're going through one, you're going through an experience, whatever it is. If you are having this experience of an awakening, how can that awakening teach you oneness, not separation? How many of you have gone through an experience, and be honest with yourself? We've all been there. I've been there, where you go through this awakening and you feel, oh my God, my parents don't get it. My siblings don't get it. My partner doesn't get it. You've now created a new separation, a new little compartment in your being, why these people are less than of you. And you've created judgment, which has created a less worthiness towards these people, or a differentiation between you and these beings. When there isn't, it doesn't mean anything. We have to understand that in this lifetime, there are human beings that came into this life because they want to experience a spiritual experience with various maybe gods or creators or plants or whatever may have you. And that is their journey. And there are people who do not believe in that fully. Yet sometimes those people are the most spiritual because they're living life and trusting life itself to be as it is. So when we can allow, again, I just really want to preference and just highlight this, that each and every single one of you watching this, there is a separation that has been channeled and coded in our being. And as we move into this new era of this energy and shifting of the energy of the earth and our humanity and this race, and also nature itself and Pachamama, the more we understand, where have we been taught to be separated from this world? The more healing opens up for us to hold and to witness and to bring into light. And the more truth starts to open up in your life, you start to break away from a system that your little child, your little being, your little boy, your little girl, your little conscious being was told to attach to. And the true freedom is being able to live that with seeing that I am you and you and I, that aspect, to live it and breathe it, to actually go back to Gandhi's word, be the change you want to see in the world. It's that simple. It's that simple for happiness. If you are being the change you want to see in the world, well, hello, you just won the $1 million ticket. That is really where it comes down to. But if you are living a life where you're not being the change and you're working on yourself, you're doing the work, but you're not living it, being it, well, then you are not being the change you want to see in the world. And in doing that, you are also judging others, and you are then not embodying the life of which you claim to be. So are you in your truth? Breathe into that. Are you in your truth? And this is a deep reminder for everyone, even for myself, right? We always have to remind ourselves, are we in our truth? And if you feel lost right now in your life, if you feel amazing, if you feel kind of today, and maybe this picked you up, if you feel whatever it is, whatever feeling you're feeling is amazing. That's great. But whatever you're feeling, can I step into the truth of that emotion? Can I step into the truth of that reality? And if the answer is yes, watch and see what shifts. Watch and see what happens. A lot will happen. A lot will change. Trust me. I'm just catching up on your messages because I'm like on a full portal right now with you guys. Please share with me if there's anything that's coming up with you in the chat. Even replay, let me know. YouTube and TikTok, let me know. I'm just going to read your messages. Okay. To the point, 100%, knowing we are enough. Yes, 100%. Okay, so let me read your TikTok messages too. We forget that spirits having a human experience, 100%, we need to listen and understand and not judge. Yes, Ashe, I hope that lost is from me for sure. Everything you're saying resonates with me. Thank you. Amazing. So yeah, I just wanted to share this deep, potent channel message of happiness, and like, can you be responsible for part of your happiness? And that's all the masculine. And remember, you are a walking channel of the divinity and the balance of the collective, the feminine and the masculine within. You are a walking channel of a reincarnation of your ancestors, a story of which that tells beyond who you are, but is coded in so many ways. That is what makes you so unique and so vast and so powerful, each and every one of you. So understanding that that power is everything you need. And the moment that we are thinking we have something and we don't have anything, or we're lacking something, is a moment that a part of us is feeling unworthy. And just to listen to that voice, don't quiet it, don't shush it. Think of that version of you just wanting to come to its parent and just tell something, just say something. It doesn't want to be told how it should change. It doesn't want to be told what it should do. It just wants to be listened to. And sometimes those parts of us that don't feel happy just want to be listened to. That's all. That's how you heal it. And when you can tap into that essence, the world becomes a lot more happy, or your energy lifts. You feel lighter. Things change in your being. And just notice what shifts differently in your everyday patterns as well, right? So again, I just want to go and leave this at the last bit I talked about, why this essence of happiness and why majority of this world right now, in a world where we're getting gratification online, social media, YouTube, all these places. I know I'm on here as well, but my intention is to bring you reality on this platform because we do use it. And to remind you, yes, we can connect here, and I love to connect in person. That's my favorite thing, retreats and everything. But also, take what you're receiving here and live it, breathe it, be in it. What resonates, what doesn't, throw it away. I'm not saying what I'm sharing is right. What I'm saying is a perspective. And for those who come here, they receive what they need to receive. Great. And it brings you a conversation within self, even if it's a disagreement. That's okay. I welcome that. You welcome that. We should welcome that, right? Because when we can welcome a disagreement, we welcome discussion, we welcome opening, we welcome healing, we welcome so much. And then that's where the judgment that we have that is connected to the collective starts to melt away. And when it melts away, we find ourselves in the utmost, deepest passion and purpose of our being, which is peace for all beings, freedom for all beings. And that can only happen if we look here. And that's why today I talked to one of the beautiful souls, one of you beautiful souls who applied to the Rebirth program, who wanted to do all the things and help the support community, which is amazing. And what I told them is, look here, because all of what you're sharing is beautiful. But what I'm hearing is there's a lot that needs to be seen and brought into the light. And sometimes we experience things that tell us that we're not worthy of it. Also, not even worthy of being on this earth plane sometimes, that we need to seek the happiness, in enlightenment or in a different dimension. We astral project, or outside of our body, or in food, or in working out, or in partnerships, or in friendships, or in a lifestyle. That is going to bring us happiness. But what charges that happiness of that experience and memory is our being and our totality of who we are. And when we get to know who we are, we become conscious, aware beings. And in doing that, if you are the universe, an extension of the universe, you then welcome more conscious truth being in the universe and for all beings, so they can also be free. So I want to leave it at that, because that is like, I feel like Spirit saying, let them sit, let them receive that, let them connect with that. Let me know, even if you saw the replay, what resonated for you. And for TikTok, you guys can see this again on YouTube. It will be uploaded. It will be there for you to receive this channel message, to receive this medicine, and to share it with a friend. Like if there's a friend or a family member that maybe is in a space where they don't feel happy. Maybe they're feeling depressed. Maybe they're feeling like they're going through a transition. Maybe they're going through a dark night of the soul or tower moment, whatever it is. Or maybe they're happy in glory or whatever. They just need to be reminded that they're doing well. Just allow them to receive this and get what they need. And the more that we can do that, again, you are me and I am you, and we're all connected and we're one. We're really one in this gridded place. Don't forget that. And really work on allowing yourself to see who you are and how you are this beautiful medicine for this world. You're here with purpose, with mission. You're here for a reason. And you are here as the biggest blessing for the collective, as each and every single one of us are. Okay. So I love you so much. Don't forget, before we close this, that today's the last day for the Goddess Retreat applications, midnight Eastern time. So if you want to apply for the Goddess Retreat that is happening in Portugal, March 20th to the 27th, I'm doing a partial sponsorship for 2 goddesses for this beautiful sacred womb healing retreat. And I also have the Divine Dharma retreat that is still open for applications, and the Rebirth one-on-one. If you want to go deeper, if you're ready to step into the metamorphosis of yourself, this is great for space holders, great for people just starting their journey, great for people who've been doing it for a while. It's for everyone. And we work through very deep practices and ancient practices to support you in our sessions together. So yeah, applications are open, and add yourself to the email list for more. I'm so grateful for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all the things, share with a friend. And I look forward to reading your comments and connections and all that is. So remember, you are special. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for you. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.